So tell us more about how you came to play Alfred and Beware the Batman.
I was very lucky. I got a very lucky strike. I just got a text, excuse me. I'm going to turn it off. So I was working on a video game called Diablo 3, and it was normally directed by Andrea Toyas. And I arrived at the studio, and they said, "Oh yeah, you're here for the session. You're in there with Andrea." And I walked in, and there was this woman sitting there, and I didn't know who she was. And she said, "Hi, I'm Andrea Romano," and I immediately kind of went. And we did the session, and I left, and I suddenly, a few days later, got a call saying, "We'd love you to come in and audition for Alfred." And I literally couldn't believe it. I was so excited. You know, I've wanted to be a part of that franchise for years. A lot of my friends have been involved in it, and I hadn't yet. No, I hadn't yet started working on Arkham Origins, which was another part of the Batman franchise that I've been doing. And I auditioned for it, and then I did a callback with Anthony. We got on like a house on fire. The voices worked together, our personalities worked together, and it just sort of went from there. And within, a couple of weeks, we were recording, and so it was all a bit of a shock. And tremendously exciting,
Yeah, that is pretty fast moving. So Alfred is obviously very embedded in the Batman mythology. How is your rendition a little different? What do you bring to the table?
Well, it's partly my rendition, but I really just do the voice. It's the creators, Mitch Watson and Glenn Murakami, really wanted to reimagine Alfred in a way that gave him a little bit more edge, brought him down in age a little bit. We're earlier in the Batman story, but it's still very true to the time-honored relationship between Bruce Wayne and the Butler. He's got a bit more of a military background. He's ex-MI6. He's got experience in the field. I think that does nothing but serve the Batman story, in my opinion. But like I say, the fundamental truth of the relationship is still, there's lots of irony in it, there's lots of humor in it, that relationship is still very warm and compassionate. And, he's a guy who's still trying to honor the agreement he made with Bruce's parents to watch his back.
But since he has had that training, will we get to see him in action any this season?
Possibly.
Fair enough.
I mean, I think the first episode showed that he was going to get involved and be involved in a supportive role, and so he gets a little bit more involved. But I mean, it's like I think an early poster came out with him toting guns, and I mean that's not happening. So people can relax about that. He's still very much the Butler. He's just the Butler with a bit of kick to him, which makes him very fun to play.
I say it makes him the best Butler ever.
I'd say so.
And what's just really quick? What's the recording like? Because I think you guys get to record together. Is it a lot of fun?
It's rare in voiceover, and so it's fantastic because we get to rib each other a lot. Anthony and I very much have that kind of relationship, which has been a new friendship and a whole other side to things, which has been great. Some of the other people that I've worked with before have been involved. The wonderful thing about it as well is that you get incredible guest stars coming in. People like Matthew Lillard, who just turn up and and do stuff. And I think I'm all right to say that he's involved, but I'm not saying what role he plays. And so you in all the time the cast is changing, and then also because you're all recording together, they'll throw you. I do Lunkhead, I do the Bat Computer, I do various thugs and villains, and so that sort of stuff becomes really fun to play around with on the spot. And you're sort of on your toes all the time because you never quite know what's going to happen. But also the great thing about a cast recording is you get to bounce off each other and play off each other, and I think that just gives the storytelling more authenticity.